Shalom Aleichem Rabotai. We are continuing our learning in the Mishnah Yomi for Hey Tammuz, or the 4th of July, Yom Ha'atzmaut Shel Artzot Brit. So Chag Sameach, and we are in Trumot in the 4th parak and the 13th Mishnah. Amar Rabbi Yosi. So Rabbi Yosi brings in a Maaseh that happened. Maaseh ba lifnei Rabbi Akiva. A question came in front of Rabbi Akiva. There are 50 bundles of vegetables. And these 50 bundles of vegetables, they were all chulin through and through. But what happened? Shenafla achat mechen latocha. Now another bundle of vegetables falls into these 50. But what's this new one? Chetzia Trumah. This new bundle, half of it's Trumah. And it's a bundle. So you figure, there's 5 or 10 carrots or whatever it is, celeries, whatever they are, in these bundles. This one is the new one is half Trumah, half chulin. So what are we going to do here? The Marti Lefanav. So Rabbi Yossi says to Rabbi Akiva, Tale, it should be batel and should be ole. Should work. Should be as if there's 101 here. Lo shed Trumah tale b'chamisha ve'echad. Not because Trumah's batel in 50 and 1 and 51. It's not. Ele shahayu sham meya ushnei chatzayin. Rather, what do we have here? We have 100 and 2 halves. We really have 101 because half of the new bundle, we had 50 regular bundles and half of the new bundle is Trumah, not all of the new bundle. So you might think, well, that sounds pretty obvious. Sounds like Rabbi Yossi's teaching us math, that instead of 1 half being batel in 50 and another half, that's the same thing as one seah, or one bundle being batel in 101. So the Chiddush here, the Bartner explains, is you might have thought that since this new bundle is half Trumah, half chulin, the whole thing gets the halachic status of Trumah, because of course half is not batel. It's batel 1 and 101. It's not batel 1 and 2. So you might have thought the entirety of this new bundle, the whole thing is Trumah. So Rabbi Yossi is teaching us, and Rabbi Akiva agrees through his silence, shtika kehoda, so he doesn't object to this. He says, that's the halacha. So we see that the new bundle, it's not considered entirely to be Trumah, it's considered to be half and half Trumah. So therefore, when the new bundle falls in, it's not as if 1 is falling into 50, it's as if 1 half is falling into 50, and there's that extra half, so it is batel in 101. Good, so Mazel Tov on finishing the 4th parak about bittul. Now moving on to the 5th parak, first Mishnah. So far we've been learning about cases where Trumah tahora, pure Trumah, that was not ritually contaminated, fell into chulin. Now in the 5th parak, we learn another wrinkle here. Seya Trumah tameya. Now it's a seya of tamei, contaminated Trumah, shenafla levachot me'mea chulin, and it falls into less than 100 chulin. So it's not going to be ole, it's not going to be batel. Ole meiser rishon, or it fell into meiser rishon, or the meiser sheni, ole hektish, or kodshim, articles for the Beit HaMikdash. Bein Tmein Ben Zahorin, whether those other items are Tahor or Tamei, Yir Kavu. Halacha is it has to be left to rot, Nebuch, so it's a big loss. It's not batel, and it's Trumah Tameya, not Trumah Tahora, so it can't be used, it can't be eaten, we left to rot. We're going to see later, if you had just Trumah Tameya by itself, it could be used for fuel, but here it's mixed with something else that can't be burned. Im Tahora Haita, Ota Seah. But if it was tahor, if the 1 seah fell into, say, 50 seah of chulin, and everything is tahor, nothing got tameid up, so yimachu lekohanim b'dmei truma. You could sell the whole mixture to kohanim, because kohanim can use this mixture. They can use the meduma, even though it has truma mixed in. They can eat the truma, they can eat the chulin, no problem. So you sell it to them chutz midmei otaseya. But that 1 seah of truma you have to give for them for free. So if that 1 seah of truma fell into 50 chulin, you sell them the 50, but you sell it at the price of Trumah, which is cheaper. And that one seah that's definitely Trumah, you throw it in for free. The Mishnah brings the next case, Im l'maiser rishon nafla. So if this Trumah fell into maiser rishon, but again, not enough that it would be batel, and it's tahira, yikra shem l'trumah maiser. So he's a Levi, and the Levi is given maiser rishon and has to take out 10% of the maiser rishon as Trumat Meiser, as a Trumah for the Kohanim. So this is a mixture of Trumah and Meiser, so he should use this to take Trumas Meiser from new Meiser Rishon. So he can use it to designate Trumat Meiser on the new Meiser Rishon he gets, and then give the whole business to a Kohen once he's designated it. Im le Meiser Sheni or lehektish nafla, if the Truma falls into Meiser Sheni, and that's the second tithe that's taken to Yerushalayim, eaten there, or to Hekdesh Kodshim, somebody, he's donating a barrel of wheat or oil to the Beit HaMikdash, Hare Elu Yepodu. These can be redeemed. Something that's Hekdesh, you can redeem it, buy it back, and the money gets the Kedusha. And the same thing with Meiser Sheni. For instance, you have too much crops to bring. You have too much Meiser Sheni. Baruch Hashem, we should all be zoche to too much Meiser Sheni, and it's too much to schlep it all to Yerushalayim without getting a semi-truck. So we're going to be podeh, tzarta kesef. We can redeem it onto valuable coins, onto silver coins, and take those to Yerushalayim and buy food and drink to consume in Yerushalayim, and that will have Kedusha of Meiser Sheni. So there's a solution if the Truma Tahora falls into these items. Finally, the Mishnah brings another case, Im Tameim Hayota Chulin. Now, if the Chulin is contaminated, the Truma is Tahira. Nobody can eat Truma once it's Tamei, once it's contaminated. So here you had pure Tahira Truma falling into Chulin Tamein, and it's not batel. There's only 50 seah of the Chulin and 1 seah of Truma. So what could he do? What can the Kohen do? The Israel is selling the whole business to the Kohen and giving the Truma for free. Ye'achlu nikudim oklayot. You can eat it dried out or parched, kind of like popcorn. Klayot sometimes translated as popcorn, sort of parched, oven-dried grains, but not with no liquid involved. If he gets it wet, Rabosai, then it will transfer the Tuma. The Truma would be makabel Tuma once it gets wet. Here it's not wet yet, so we don't want to cook it any way that involves liquid to get it wet. Oh, Yelosha b'mei perot, but he could knead it with fruit juice. So a number of things, Yad Shachadam, a number of liquids do make things suitable to be makabel Tuma. So if he needs it with water, or with milk, or with yayin, or grape juice, it would be makabel Tuma. But here he's using mei perot. The Bartner says mei tutim, like berries or strawberries, rimonim, or pomegranate juice. So he's using pomegranate juice instead of water to make the dough. It sounds delicious, but it's also not makabel Tuma, so it's a win-win. So he'd be able to do that, and it wouldn't become tamei. Again, he has Truma Tahora and Chulin Tamein, and he needs to find a solution to eat this stuff without making the Truma Tameya, because then he can't eat it anymore. Oh, Yetchalku le'isot, or he can divide it into little itty-bitty doughs, make little itty-bitty rolls, so no single roll or single place is going to be a kibetza. So the amount of food that can transmit tumat ochli, and the contamination of food, is a kibetza, which is 2 kizaitim. A kibetza, it's an egg. It's a fat egg. It's about 2 ounces. So he has these little itty bitty rolls. Then they don't become contaminated, and it's a solution to eat this mixture without it being tamei up the truma aspect of it. In modern times, it could be an eitzah for people who have a sensitivity to wheat or gluten or sugar issues. For Shabbos, when there's a mitzvah to wash on rolls, as long as it's you understand if there's a medical problem that precludes it, then they're exempt, they're pater. But if they could eat a little bit of bread, you could make itty bitty rolls, less than a kibetza, and that's also could be for medical reasons helpful, not just for preventing tumah reasons. Shkoyach Rabosai.